What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back again with another 90-day fiance video, and this one is all about Hamza. And I'll be honest with you, I have been waiting a while to make this video. I just needed him to keep doing what he was doing to complete the pattern that I have noticed for weeks upon end now. And I tried to expose it before, but when that has happened, some people have said, yeah, we're still on Hamza's side. We don't see it just yet. But then some people have been like, I've been telling you. And you know what? We're here now. But let's not waste any more time. Let's start off by giving a big, massive shout out to every single person that is a member of the channel. Now, when it comes to this video, I'm about to expose why I believe, strongly believe, that Hamza is simply and has been sympathy seeking. And in reality, he really has not been doing anything, in my opinion, to see his daughter. And also, why I don't believe that Memphis has ever tried to stop him from seeing his daughter. Now, of course, I've made a video about this before, a similar one, but this was more about Memphis than him. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. But let's get into this one itself in particular. Let's start off with this pattern of behavior. Now, I had to go back to when I made a few videos to get some screenshots, so if they're blurry, that is why. But nonetheless, though, as you can see here, some months ago, soon after 90-Day Fiance, before the 90 days finished, Memphis was running wild on social media, saying what she wanted to say. And at that time, Hamza was reluctant to say what he wanted to say, and the reason why is here. He said, For all of you who don't know the whole story, please do not make any assumptions until you know all the facts. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I am not allowed to discuss anything on social media. Soon, you will all know everything. My respect to all. Let's just remember when he said, I am not allowed to discuss anything on social media, and then finished it off by saying, soon, you will all know everything. And you know, when he uses the word soon, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you this right now, that soon has been here for a while now. Because you see, at the time, there was also another post that I couldn't find where I'm sure he talked about, or maybe it was me that talked about how maybe he couldn't say anything due to his NDA, due to his contract with TLC. But at the same time, though, back then, though, Memphis was still talking and talking and talking, which made it quite interesting why she was more than happy to keep talking and exposing, and while he was more than happy to not talk because, well, due to circumstances, he couldn't say anything because they were not underneath his control. Well, as far as I'm concerned, those circumstances are long gone. But also at the same time, let's not forget, his sister, though, did come out of a comment referring to how she wanted to see her niece but was unable to. The thing is, though, at the time, it was easy for us to assume that maybe it was because Memphis was blocking Hamza from seeing the niece, and maybe therefore she was also blocking the family, when in reality, it wasn't the fact that Memphis was blocking the family, it's just that the family wasn't in the country. Now, here's the thing, though. After that post itself in particular, Hamza went through a stage of, shall I say, sequences, a stage where the pattern was just getting more and more repetitive, but I just had to wait for the moment. That right moment to say to you guys that this pattern that he's had was a pattern to just be sympathy seeking, to just try and manipulate the audience that's more than happy to be by his side. Why? Not necessarily because they really care to be on his side, but more because, well, they just don't like Memphis. But here's the thing, though. Look at this post itself in particular. Hamza came out with this one by saying, I feel a deep sadness every day. I miss my daughter. My heart aches without her around. I am counting the minutes until I am reunited with her again. I am counting down the minutes until I am reunited with her again. I never for 1 second forget my daughter. She's always in my mind and my heart. But I'm going to go back to that statement one more time. I am counting the minutes until I am reunited with her. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real quick. Memphis never ever came out to say that Hamza could not see his daughter. Hamza never even came out to directly say that he could never see his daughter. He just came out talking about how he missed his child and how he wants to see his child. Now here's the thing though, let's analyze Memphis for a second. Even though Memphis portrayed herself to be this very interesting person on 90 Day Fiancé in terms of her control, in terms of her always wanting things to be her way, at the same time, the one thing that I think went over a lot of our heads is that Memphis at the same time wasn't really the kind of person that would ever stop any man from seeing their kids. Look at it this way, she was with someone once, they had a kid, that person was nowhere to be seen. She then had a kid with another guy, but to him though, he stuck around to be a father to her firstborn and also to be a father to his born. Why? Because clearly he was a good man, more than happy to stick around, and obviously Memphis allowed him to stick around. So that is proof that Memphis has no issue with allowing a man to stick around for their kid. Hamza, on the other hand, we're seeing a different type of pattern where he tells us things, but he's not making no actions. And don't get me wrong, I know there's still this narrative that still eludes us of is Hamza even the baby? Is he even the baby dad? But here's the thing though, that narrative doesn't even matter. Why? Because Hamza is running around with the narrative that the child is his. So because he is, we have to take it based on that. So that's why that statement is irrelevant, because I know someone's going to come in the comment section saying, well, I'm still waiting for the DNA test. I mean, tell me, trust me, so am I, but there's no point running with a narrative that doesn't really matter, considering the fact that Hamza is still behaving as if the daughter that Memphis had is his. So therefore, we're going to treat this as the daughter is his and the DNA test is invalid in this court case, shall I say. I'm so funny, court case. Who says that? What kind of audacity do I have? But here's the thing though. Hamza made that post a few weeks back. No, about a month or maybe even 2 months ago. Okay. Now, a few weeks ago, he then made this post. I am smiling in my pictures, but deep in my heart, I feel very sad. I've been away from my daughter for too long, even though he clearly said a few months ago that he's counting when he can finally see his child, when clearly if you're counting down when you can see your child, it must mean that you know when you're going to see your child, right? Well, nonetheless though, let's keep it going. I wish to only see her again. I hope and pray this day will come soon. Thank you for all the support and love in my hard time. I appreciate all of you so much. Okay. So bear in mind, the first post was a few months back. That one was only a few weeks ago. But both of them say the same thing, pretty much about how one says he's counting down, and the other one says about how I'm going to see you soon. And that soon is going to be so crucial. Here's the thing. Hamza, not so long ago, posted himself on a train, okay? He posted himself on a train, and I'm thinking, where is he going? In fact, ladies and gentlemen, you know how Hamza loves to post pictures of himself. This is him obviously showing off that he's going somewhere, and then this one is self-confirmed that he's obviously boarding somewhere and he's on his way to some place. And I sat there and I said to myself, I wonder where he's going. I won't lie to you, my first assumption was, so man can afford to jump on a train, or at the time I wasn't too sure if it was a train or a plane, but he can afford to do that to go wherever he's going, right? I'm thinking, I wonder where he's going. So do you know what he did after that? The next day he then posted a very interesting post. Now, let me remind you something real quick. Memphis lives in Michigan. Hamza relocated himself to Chicago, okay? Now, at the same time, though, we always knew that Hamza always had this desire, this strong desire to be in a city, a big city with the city lights, just like they show in those American movies. And they say to you, the land of the free, the land where you can make your dreams come true. Even though that is predominantly referenced to New York City. But you get the gist of when people watch a movie or a TV show with these city lights, who are not from the States, all they think about is going to the city lights. And I won't lie to you, I'm one of those people. I want to do the same goddamn thing. Difference is though, I'm not looking to use someone to do that. But here's the thing though. I then made a video referencing to how far Hamza had moved away from Memphis and his daughter. And by a car ride, from what I remember, it was around about a 3 to 4 hour journey. But by a plane ride, it was around about an hour, maybe even less. Okay? So I'm thinking, where's he going? This is how I finally was able to make this video to prove more and more that Hamza is full of poop. Sorry, I had to remind myself that I was on YouTube and not Patreon, which reminds me, there will be another video of this made on Patreon, which is going to be so much more. So if you're not a member of Patreon just yet, feel free to go join. Link is down below in the description. But anyway, let's continue. So he decided to post this the day after. He posted that he took a train ride to Grand Haven. And do you know where, Memphis lives? Do you know where his daughter stays? Let me show you. You see this little place here called Muskegon? I hope I said that right. That is exactly where Memphis lives. That is exactly where his daughter lives. And it makes me wonder, if you was able to take a trip to Grand Haven and you're only minutes away, literally minutes away from your daughter, why not go and try and see your daughter? Because like I said before, I don't believe that Memphis would have ever stopped him from seeing his daughter. But here's the thing though, ladies and gentlemen, this is where it got more interesting. The very next day after that post, or maybe a few hours later, he then posted a picture of him and his daughter. But this picture wasn't a present one. It was a throwback. It was a picture that he had already posted prior of him and his daughter. Him claiming that, well, do you know what he claimed? He claimed that he missed his daughter, but he was only minutes away from her. And here's the thing though, ladies and gentlemen, if we go back to the post itself in particular, where Hamza came out to say, due to circumstances beyond my control, I am not allowed to discuss anything on social media. Well, we now know he is allowed. Do you know why we know this? And do you know how I know this? Because you see, Memphis at the time when he said he couldn't discuss anything was just letting everything loose, even exposing DMs, conversations. Meanwhile, Hamza was quiet as a mouse because he couldn't talk about anything at the time. But since Memphis went quiet and said that she was no longer going to be on social media, running her mouth because that is not who she is and she's better than that, she has stuck to her word and I give her credit where credit's due. But since then, Hamza has done this pattern of where he'll post a picture of him showing off his modeling abilities, him showing off his fitness abilities, him showing off this big city life. But each time you post one of those pictures always follow with, oh, but I miss my daughter. He never did that beforehand. And whatever was stopping him before, I can tell you again, it is not stopping him now. Which makes me say this. If he went to the location where his daughter is, when he went there, and he was minutes away, if Memphis had stopped him, trust me when I tell you, he would have been vocal about it. And if he wasn't going to be vocal about it, do you know who I can guarantee you would have been vocal about it? His sister. Because we know that his sister at the time was still making her little comments here and there back when Memphis was making hers. So if there was some sort of roadblock for Memphis, 100% his sister would have said something about it without a shadow of a doubt. But nothing was said. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. This is the question. Do you believe, just like myself, based on what I've exposed here in terms of the pattern, do you believe that Hamza is just out here giving us a lie that he wants to see his daughter when in reality he doesn't? He just wanted to come to America so he can be a part of this big city. Because at the end of the day, when he came to America, he found a friend real quick, which was quite ironic. And he even found a lady that was able to help him real quick, which was quite ironic. And we're in a situation now where evidently we can say that, well, there's nothing holding him back anymore, him or his sister, from speaking up and saying XYZ against Memphis. But as far as I'm concerned, he's not saying anything because you see, Memphis, in my opinion, is not stopping him from seeing his child. Remember what Memphis said though? Memphis said that when Hamza came to the States and he was living with her and their daughter and her kids already, he did not want to spend time with her kids at the time. He didn't even want to be around them. He made it quite uncomfortable for them. And at the same time, he also did not want to do any of the parenting responsibilities to be a father to his daughter. He did not want to change any nappies. He didn't want to do anything that you're supposed to do that I guess we wouldn't want to do on a day-to-day basis. But of course, as a parent, some things you just gotta do because of course you're raising a child. Memphis came out to say those things. And even at the tell-all, when Memphis exposed the video of her her privacy being invaded, and we saw how loud and abrupt she was with her sister to the producers in front of her own daughter, we sat there and I said, and some of you said, why didn't Hamza step in and take his child away from the situation? Because he was there the whole time. So there has been patterns. There has been things to show us that this man has not been stepping up or wasn't stepping up at the time to be the best father possible anyway. So what would make him do that now? All I'm saying is this, ladies and gentlemen. In life, there are times when people are going to express something once or twice, maybe 3 times if necessary, because there's a narrative behind it that is going to benefit them for the right reasons. But then in life, there are people who are going to consistently, and I'm losing my word, and my apologies, who are going to be consistently going to repeat certain things time and time and time again, not because there's a narrative behind it that actually is good, but simply because they want people to just feel for them. Because that is simply sympathy seeking, attention seeking, wanting people to think that you are a good Samaritan when in reality, you're just garbage. You're just trash. You're just a useless excuse of someone claiming to wanting to be a father when in reality, that was never the case. And let's not forget, Hamza said that he never wanted to be like his mother. He never wanted to get married, to get divorced. Well, it's for someone who said that, you would imagine that he would have put in more of a fight to keep his relationship going with Memphis. For someone who said that, you think he would have put in more of an effort to make sure he was there for his child. This is a man that came from a lifestyle where he was living with just his sister and his mother, so he knows what it's like to not have his father around necessarily. So for someone who has that experience, you think he'd make much more of an effort or much more of a hoo-ha about it. But no actions are being made, ladies and gentlemen. Let's stop lying to yourselves. Just stop. People need to stop giving this guy sympathy. And at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, he needs to stop going on social media, expressing about how he misses his child. In fact, this only happened literally hours ago. My daughter, I miss you. Again, this happened hours ago. When literally about a week ago, he was literally around the corner from his daughter. He was around the corner from his daughter. He was around the corner from his daughter. But you're telling us that you miss her. I'm a firm believer in words don't mean a goddamn thing to me. It's your actions that tell me that you mean everything that you say. It's your actions that show me who you truly are. And his actions show me that he's a man who just wants sympathy. And we can't say that he can't afford to go all the way to see his daughter on a weekly basis, because he can. And I say this because this guy is always showing off his pictures of him being in the city, which obviously would require money to get there back and forth unless he lives in the city, which means it's expensive. And also at the same time, we see him wearing all these clothes, new clothes, designer clothes, not designers in massively like Balenciaga, but he's always wearing nice clothes. You know what I'm saying? That costs money. Taking trips here and there, that costs money. Going to the gym, and I believe he even does a little bit of fighting here and there. That costs money. Money that could be put to where? I'll let you answer that question. Nonetheless though, I believe I rest my case. Oh, I'm such a dick. Why am I saying that? Nonetheless though, I will see you guys in the comment section, and hopefully I'll see new people over at Patreon, so you can see the other version of this video where, well, let's just say that one isn't as polite as this one. If you thought this one wasn't polite, you've seen nothing yet. Nonetheless though, like, subscribe, peace.